What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another video. So today I want to talk about why you should let go. Wait, where'd the camera go? So I think the act of just letting go in and of itself is going to be able to let things come to you in an easier way. Because I think a lot of times in life, myself included, we try to control how things are going to happen and how you want a specific thing to happen. But if you have bigger dreams, bigger goals, it's often going to happen in a way that you can never really expect for it to, if that makes sense. You got to kind of just understand what you want, put it out there, and then just let go of it and let it come to you however it's going to. So when you say it has to happen in a certain way and it can only happen that way, you kind of take off the possibility for it to happen in like a bigger way. Like basically you're saying, this is what I want, but it can only happen in this one very small specific way, and it takes out the possibility for it to happen in honestly ways that are better than you could have ever imagined, and allowing it to be more than what you may have even thought of at first. It could be a lot bigger, a lot better than what you imagined, but by limiting, saying, okay, it has to happen this way, has to look exactly like this, you limited it. And with that, I think you leave a lot of the best things out, because you can't really just understand beforehand when you say this is what I want. How that's going to come to you is going to be in a way that you probably never would have ever guessed or expected, and I think that's powerful in and of itself. And you kind of got to just let that happen however it's going to, and just kind of be along for the ride, but be open for whatever to happen and however it's going to, and not be so attached to it has to happen this way. And that all circles back to just letting go of just saying, okay, this is what I want, but I'm going to let God, universe, whatever you believe in, I'm going to let it decide how it's going to happen and allow it to just come into fruition whoever it's going to, and not be attached to any one way or another. So I think this is comparable to an idea of something like an animal, or something like anything in life really. It doesn't have to be an animal, but just when you chase something, it's gonna run from you. But if you just attract, you let go and say, okay, this is what I want, it'll come to you. But if you chase it, you say, okay, this is how it's gonna happen. Try to force it and try to say this is the way it's supposed to be, it's gonna run for you. But if you just say, okay, well, let me just put it out there, let go, and just let it come to me whenever it's going to, and however it's going to, I think that's usually when it comes the best ways, and when it comes at all. So that's another thing too. I think you got to be unattached to the timing aspect of it. I think we often have these time frames that we want to see certain things happen, where it's like, okay, well, I want this to happen within this amount of days or whatever. But once you put the thing out there, it's already on its way to you. So whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, just let go of it, and when you least expect it, it'll just kind of be there, and in a different way than you could have ever imagined it to, which I think is very, very powerful. And I think you got to just kind of trust that. And it might not always make sense for you, just like, how is that going to happen? But it's not supposed to make sense. I mean, that's the point of us being here, to kind of just experience this life and allow things to happen and flow. And you got to kind of just get in that flow state of just being okay with not knowing how things are going to happen, but just saying, okay, this is something I'm passionate about, something I'm going to make happen. And there's a saw in the background, that's funny. But just saying, however this is going to happen, I'm going to let it, and I'm not going to force things, because that is actually the big... It seems like an oxymoron, but the more you try to control something, the less control you have, and the more you let go, the more you give up control, the more control you'll have as well. So it's like it's a bit backwards. It's hard to understand when you're trying to like think and process through it, but it's one of those things you can't really think through. You kind of just gotta feel through and say, okay, well, let me let it go, whatever it is. Trust that it's gonna come to me when it's supposed to. I'm not gonna force it. I'm not gonna do anything other than what I'm doing. Keep working towards it, and before you know it, it'll be there in a way that you'll just be like, wow, that's just never would have thought of that. But something that's helped me recently that I think can help others as well is whenever I'm in one of those situations where I'm trying to like over control or overdo it or whatever it is, I just have this voice that kind of comes on and says, just let go. And then I just do that. So whenever it's like a situation where I was like, okay, I'm trying to do too much, I'm trying to control this too much, just kind of let go and kind of just let the situation be as it is. Probably going to take a little bit of time to kind of get used to practice, whatever, but I think it's a powerful thing to kind of be able to just let situations be and not have to over control or try to dictate how everything's going to go, because life can be random. It's going to happen in ways that just all over the place, and you try to control that too much, you're going to go crazy. Hopefully that was helpful for you, some of you guys. Do appreciate you for coming, and as always, live for the now. I'll see you in the next one. Peace, guys.